Good evening. Welcome to the Gaunt podcast. Punished for being British. A 12-year-old girl in an English school got isolated because she dared to come to school in a Union Jack dress. What do you make of that? I'd love to get your opinion this afternoon, please. This girl, she's 12 years old. It was so-called Culture Day at her school, whatever that means. I guess they say it's a day meant to celebrate all backgrounds, all heritages. So they said, come in a burqa if you want, come in this. Some people went in Nigerian dress. She chose to wear a Union Jack dress, sparkly. She's 12 years old. She likes sparkly stuff. It was bright. It was sequined. It was mostly, though, proud. She even wrote a little speech about British icons, Shakespeare, fish and chips, the royal family, things that meant something to her and her family. She could stand in for me, couldn't she? But instead of celebrating her, the school pulled her out of class and put her in isolation. They basically said, you can celebrate being British every day of the week. We wanted you to pick on a particular thing. Is that really what they meant? Why did they do this? Was it because of what she wore? Our flag, the British flag? Was that inappropriate? The internet has exploded with this story today. I really want to have your views. I was just checking about 4 days ago. I did a podcast about so-called flag shagging, which is what they call people like me and you if you're proud of being British. And I said, what is it? Why have we got so many people in this country who hate us? They love flying the Palestinian flag, even the Hamas flag. What's so horrific about our own flag? I'm proud of our culture, our tradition, our background. Aren't you? And so was this 12-year-old girl. So let me ask you a direct question, and please put your comments at the bottom now of the screen, and I'll come to them soon. How can it be unacceptable to celebrate being British on a so-called National Culture Day? How can it be unacceptable to celebrate being British in Britain? In the United Kingdom? This is just nonsense. The school have apologized. Bit late though, really. Whoever made the decision must be sacked, because this isn't just about one school messing up, is it? This is about a mindset. This is about a left-wing cultural revolution that is happening in all our playgrounds, in all our classrooms. They all come out of teacher training college and preach from the same hymn book. It's cultural Marxism, alive and well. Celebrate diversity, but diversity can never be being white and British, or God forbid, English. This is wrong, and we need to get into this mindset. Because there's a growing belief, as I said in my previous video, check it out if you wish, that being proud of your country, the United Kingdom, Great Britain, or it might be England, Scotland, whatever, is somehow offensive. Well, it isn't, in my opinion. It's something to be proud of. And if this doesn't worry you, this one story today, which is only a minor story on one level, but it's symptomatic of what's going wrong in our great country, you must listen and watch this podcast stroke broadcast. If you're listening on audio, come back and have a look at the John Gaunt TV YouTube channel. You'll see me in marvelous widescreen. If I look a little bit distracted, and the reason I'm doing it early tonight is I've had to cook my daughter's tea. I'm staying at my daughter's at the moment, and I put a lovely chicken in. I wish it was smell-o-vision. It'd be superb. So I'm being a domestic goddess as well as talking to you. But in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what happened, how this lousy school responded, and why this case has struck a nerve right across the country. Because this isn't just a story, it's a massive warning to all of us about where our society's going. Got some comments I want to hear from you. Emma says, it's just so wrong what happened to her. Poor girl. Emma, I agree with you completely. Congratulations on your weight loss. Also on Facebook. Well done. Michael Hudson just says, Reform UK. Would they get on top of this straight away? I don't know. But I take your point. I got to say to Keir Starmer, he has turned around and condemned the school and said there's nothing offensive about celebrating being British or being proud of being British. Really, Starmer? Is that, how long have you had that thought in your little mind? Ever since you panicked this afternoon when your arse cheeks were clapping, how am I going to respond to this? And your little bloke who writes all your scripts and all your speeches, which you don't normally read, told you better come out in support of the girl. But this is happening everywhere. Diversity in the cultural Marxist mind means diversity if you've got a disability, and rightly so, or if you come from an ethnic minority that hasn't been treated correctly, rightly so. But diversity is also there for the majority population, which unfortunately for you cultural Marxists are white people. We have an absolute right to celebrate as well. So she wanted to come and she dressed a bit like, the dress is a bit, it's not, people are saying it's like Jerry's out of the Spice Girls. It's not sexual in any way. It's like a little girl of 12 would wear. Sparkly. Fun. And she wanted to have fun. She was made to sit in reception till her dad could get there from work. He was working. How can that be right? How can you be singled out? It's a wonder they didn't describe her as far right. That's how lunatic this country has gone. Joanna Smith, I'm absolutely disgusted by the school. So am I, Joanna. If you want to comment, please write one now at the bottom of the screen, and it comes up on my screen. That's the magic of the internet. And then I'll read them out. So, 12 years old. It was so-called Culture Day in rugby. But it wasn't, was it? Because this isn't just this. I mean, notice I'm not saying the girl's name. This isn't just a story. It's a massive health warning for our society. On the same day that figures came out about universal credit, saying we're giving millions to migrants who are on the dole, have come here and are unemployed, and we're shelling out. Just on that issue, if you haven't paid in, you shouldn't be able to take out. There should be a qualifying period. Do you agree with me? I couldn't believe that story. And then the other big cock-up, which isn't necessarily Starmer's fault, it's the whole political establishment, is this one about the Afghanis, who they've put in mortal danger, and they had to apologise about today. We are being, and we have been run by a bunch of clowns. And, oh, hang on. That's unfair to clowns. This bunch of Muppets, not just Starmer, the bunch before as well, would have been better off having the greengrocer's shop. We had the lettuce. We may as well have gone full hog and got some vine tomatoes as well. I'm only saying that because I've just been out to buy some salad to go with my chicken. Oh, it's smelling fantastic. I might have to get up in a minute and give it a baste. Who Hermes is. Right, so what actually happened? Keep putting your comments there, please, and keep pressing the like button. We need to convince the establishment, the status quo, that we're not going to take any more of this. And I'll tell you, if more things like this happen, like the migrants today getting all that universal credit, Britain is going to explode. Can you not see it, Keir? Can you not see the warnings in Spain or in the Irish or Republic? How far do you want to push us? I'm not inciting violence, please, and I don't want anyone to do that. But there's a line. The British were the most tolerant in the world. But there comes a moment where that elastic will snap. Do you agree with me? Or am I being hysterical? So here's what we know. The school encouraged students to celebrate their culture. their heritage. So, they've got different cultures there. People who come from different parts of the world. That's fine. That's fine. They said dressing something meaningful. Courtney, and I'm not saying her surname for obvious reasons, just 12 years old, chose a sparkly Union Jack dress. Or Union flag, the one I'm talking about. And she had a matching hat as well. Her dad says she went out to school and she was dead proud. She even wrote a speech to give in class, which maybe I'll talk about later. Not only that, this girl's a straight A student. She's clever. She's a clever, bright, attentive, never been in trouble girl. She got chucked out of her classroom and told to sit in reception. And we know what that means. If you sit in reception, it means you've been bad. You've been a bad girl, a naughty girl. It's abhorrent, this. She was wearing our flag. As soon as she walked through the school doors, her teachers told her the dress was not suitable. And as I say, a lot of people are saying it's like the Spice Girls. It's not. It wasn't a mini dress or anything like that. There was no sexual connotation. If you look at the pictures, it's a long dress. They didn't let her speak. They didn't even let her ask questions as to why the Union flag dress, the flag of our country, was inappropriate. No, they told her, sit in reception and keep your mouth shut. They pulled her out of any lessons, any celebration of Culture Day, and put her in isolation because her culture wasn't acceptable, clearly, to these teachers, these cultural Marxists. Heads must roll. This nonsense has got to be stopped. I've got no problems. When my kids were at school, they learnt about Eid, they learnt about Ramadan, the Festival of Lights, Diwali, etc. I lived in Leamington for a long time. They have the Christmas lights up and the Diwali lights. No problem. We all live together and we will rub along, don't we? Again, it's white liberals, uber liberals, who spread this. It's like when I talked the other day about having a beer in the village where I'm living at the moment, where I'm staying at the moment. And somehow people picked on me because it was Italian beer. Well, Spanish beer. It wasn't actually. It's brewed in this country. But these liberals were so fascist and so racist. And they said I was being a racist because I said, this is England. Well, I think sitting outside a village pub, listening to the church bells ringing, hearing the Morris men preparing for a traditional carnival the next day, I think that is English. And I'm not effing apologising to you uber liberals who want to wreck, and indeed are wrecking our country. You're giving it away for a few euros here, a few euros there. That's not what I want. Our country is a great country, which is why every Tom, Dick, Abdul, Mohammed, Bert, Fred, Harry, Simon want to get into our country because it's brilliant and it's tolerant. You're the fascists, you left-wing cultural Marxists. You're the racists, not me and other white working-class people. And we're certainly not full right, far right. So they pulled her out of lessons, put her in isolation. She sat there alone all day, well, to about just after lunchtime, I think. Her punishment was for wearing the flag of the country she was born in and lives in. And the school's reason, which they said to her dad, listen to this, it might offend someone. How can our flag offend anyone in our country? And I include the flag of St. George in that. If you're offended by our flag, Stelios, shocks away. Why don't you just go to the exit? It'll be marked in every language you can imagine. And if not, we're probably paying for translators to tell you. Just F off and get out of the country. And I'm not necessarily talking to ethnic minorities or new arrivals there, because I think a lot of this nastiness is stirred up by liberals, white middle-class liberals with nothing better to do than slag our tradition, our culture, our heritage, because they somehow feel guilty about it. I don't know what they feel. I want our kids to learn about our history. I want them to learn about the empire, the slave trade. I want them to hear the good and the bad. Then they'll become well-balanced individuals. You can't hide it away. We are a predominantly, sorry to say it, everyone, white, working class country. Joanna Smith says, I wouldn't let her go back to that school. Well, I know how you feel, Joanna, but all her friends are there. I'm with you, though. Matt Harrison, I hope she doesn't go back to that. And then he says something whole. Well, yes. Well, that's what I'm saying. Someone's got to be sacked. Someone's got to carry the can for this. How far does this go down? This rot go down, says Pete Mills. Did the governors know? Did the Department of Education know? Did the local authority know? Did they have to give a warning? Oh, we're having a non-uniform day, a culture day. We're letting kids come dressed in their cultural clothes. Well, I can't even think about the logic of why they did it, actually, apart from some kind of virtue signaling bollocks. I can't think of any other reason why you do this, where you come up with this idea. Pete Mills says, clowns are funny, John. This lot ain't. That's very true. These schools have got to wake up. Well said, my friend Matt Harrison. Nigel Gordon, wonder if they'd have done that if it was another flag on the dress. No, they'd have probably made a head girl. If she'd come in the flag of Palestine, they'd have said, oh, congratulations, well done, you're so politically aware. These teachers need rooting out. These teachers are poisoning our children's minds. These teachers are trying to indoctrinate our kids. It's outrageous. If you like what I'm saying, please press that like button, 19 so far. Please also, if you'd like to donate a few quid, there's a little $sign at the bottom of the screen. Can you see it? If you click on there, you can donate anything from a couple of quid upwards. It all helps these podcasts to keep going. And also, I'm developing them. I booked another 2 guests. Starting next week, we're having some set-piece interviews with some very interesting people. The remit I've set myself is I just need to be interested in them. I'm not going to ever interview anyone who I think's an idiot. Well, only to humiliate them. I'm not going to just, got to get another interview in. No. Now, these are going to be extra shows that I'm putting in to the schedule. They're not going to be part of the live show. They're going to be pre-recorded, but not taped over. They have to be like as live. That'll start next week. The first one I'm doing Monday morning, and then they'll be on and scattered through the summer and into the winter. This is all part of driving the John Gaunt podcast forward, and also, of course, eventually for us to have phone lines going as well, because your contribution is so important. But if you want to make a financial contribution, press that $sign and give me a few quid. Alternatively, go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt. And there you buy me a coffee or beer. It's $5 a time. Many people get 3, but you do whatever you can afford. Again, the middle class cultural Marxists who infest Twitter and Facebook, they say I'm begging doing it. I don't think I am. I'm producing something and I'm asking my listeners and my viewers to help fund it. I think that's a fair exchange. It's better than the BBC, where you give the BBC all the money and they let somebody from Hamas do a program, or somebody at Glastonbury absolutely slag off our country and say, let's kill loads of Jews. I just think that's outrageous. If you don't pay that license fee, you're going to jail. So it's a better proposition, isn't it? Anyway, let's hear to the reaction from her dad. Her father was furious, and rightly so. He's told the papers and the internet today, my daughter came home in tears, embarrassed. That's the bit embarrassed. She's just a little girl, 12 years old. I'd have probably, well, don't say that. Well, I would have done. I'd have been up there raging, let me tell you. The little girl, her dad says, she didn't understand what she'd done wrong. Well, that's because she hadn't done anything wrong. And then, of course, the internet erupted. This is a massive, massive story, because it isn't about one little girl. It isn't about the union dress. It's about a cultural attitude by people who are meant to be looking after our kids. They're, what do they call it? Parentis. You know, somebody will tell me the Latin term. Well, we're not there. They're acting like parents. Well, I don't want them indoctrinating children. Do you? I want them to have children in their classroom, say a Muslim or a Sikh or a Hindu and a Jew or whatever, and there to be a cultural exchange. That's fine. It's good that people understand about different ways of living. But the thing that binds them has to be that they're all British or English or Scottish or Irish. Do you see where I'm coming from? This country is totally upside down. A young girl, 12 years old, can't wear a British flag in Britain. Forget about Starmer saying we're becoming strangers in our society. We're becoming strangers in our own schools. And it's the teachers who are creating this. And I bet you, like somebody just said, if it was any other flag that's celebrated, if she'd gone in with the gay flag, you know, the rainbow, yeah, I bet the teachers would have been almost orgasmic in their reception. Oh, marvellous, marvellous. And especially if she'd have got two mummies or two daddies, yeah. I don't care if that's your lifestyle, but what I'm illustrating is that's fine. But the norm, they want to make it out that we're wrong, that we're the far right. And when I say the norm, the majority of people are heterosexual and Christian in their background. This isn't inclusion, what happened yesterday. It's erasure. It's woke gone wild. Why can't they just let kids be proud of where they're from? I just don't understand it. Well, I do. This isn't, and it wasn't, a one-off mistake. There'll be loads of stories like this now. It's part of a trend, one where British culture, our culture, is treated like a guilty secret. We can wave any flag you like, unless it's your own flag. We say we want inclusion, but who exactly is being included and who is being silenced? It's like, whether you like him or not, when Tommy Robinson does his demos, look at the police presence. Look about the Countryside Alliance when they did theirs. The police went in heavy-handed. Then look at Don't Just Stop Oil. They can glue themselves to floors. They can puke over paintings and nobody tears a tissue. Look at the Palestinians and indeed within them, the Hamas terrorists marching in our capital city Saturday after Saturday, making Jewish people afraid to go into London. I don't want to live in that kind of society. Do you? Multiculturalism, it doesn't mean cancelling the majority culture. It means teaching respect. And that teaching of respect doesn't mean banning British pride. Teacher, leave us kids alone. That's just come to me. That's the song, isn't it? Another brick in the wall. In this case, another prick in the school by the look of it. Rosie Hendy says everything is out of order. Makes you wonder why schools are actually used. We are free. We are a free for all on a galactic scale. Is that right? There we are. Bit heavy for me this time of night, mate. Where's the next one? Denise Deacon, a regular. She's on Facebook today. I'd like to see and hear from whose decision it was to send her out of class. If she'd been in a Palestinian flag dress, that'd have probably been okay. Well, Denise, I don't know whether it would, but I'm like you. I think it probably would have been. And I tell you what's going to happen now. And I hope my friends in the tabloid press are really raking the muck. I'm not going to let this story go because that's what they want. That's why Starmer has immediately made a comment this time. There's nothing wrong with being proud to be British. He's bound to have said it, isn't he? Because he's learnt his lesson from Southport. But what I'm saying is somebody's got to take the bullet for this. Someone has to be sacked. They have to at least fess up and say, I was the idiot who said you can't wear the British flag. Afternoon, John. It's hard to know if the teachers or the curriculum, probably both, with a left-wing agenda. I work in the public sector and we're supposed to be politically neutral at work. Yeah, Chopper, MK50, but that's bullshit, isn't it? I remember when I was signing on They're civil servants. They're meant to be politically neutral. But loads of them have the old rainbow, what do you call it? Lanyards around their neck. I mean, I don't really care myself, but you're not meant to show a political persuasion. It's wrong. It's like when all the twats started kneeling for Black Lives Matter. Oh, let's kneel for a rapist and a mugger and a violent criminal. That's a good idea. Oh, look what's happened 12 months later. We on the right were proved correct. Do you remember Starmer and Angela Rayner kneeling? Do you remember when they made all the football players do it? Absolute nonsense. Excuse me. I wonder if it had been different if she'd had the England team's football kit on. Don't know what you mean by that, but I don't know. I'm always pulling people at work if they show political bias, says Chopper. He's worked for the civil service. Saying that, it's been good to see colleagues hospitable to our new reform councillors. Now, that's interesting, because I've heard a lot of these civil servants have been very stroppy with the reform people. So it's good to get a bit of balance. Thank you for that. Caroline Hobday. So now they are super embarrassed and backtracked. And they want the young lady to read her very well-written speech and to wear her dress. Caroline, you are brilliant. You've hit that right on the head. You're right. They have now announced that they want the girl to go back to school and come back in your dress, you condescending, patronising bitch, and read out your speech. I've read the speech. It's great. If that was my 12-year-old, I'd be well chuffed, well pleased with her, well proud of her. But why should she go back now? Why did you upset her? Why did you bully her? She was 12. How old are you? You've got to be at least 23 if you're a teacher. And this would have come from the top. So, headmistress, 40. How can you treat a 12-year-old like you should resign, not get sacked? Anyway, back to what Caroline's saying. Not only British, but they stated Welsh and Scottish too. What on earth are they trying to put over, for goodness sake? After all, the UK means all of us, the United Kingdom. Well, that's what she says in her speech, isn't it, Caroline? You're right. They also told a few kids they couldn't wave flags, the flags of St. George. What is up with these teachers? I wouldn't mind, but most teachers that I've met when I was at school, people who went into teaching, how do I say this? They weren't that bright. Yeah, they couldn't get into a top university. So they went to teacher training college. I'm not saying that they're all thick, and some of them became brilliant teachers, but they weren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, in my humble opinion. So let's carry on. What'd she say then? It means all of the UK, all of us, all our heritage, all our culture, as well as those who have settled here too. I hope those who made this very wrong decision have been reprimanded and have all learnt a lesson from this disgusting attitude. Well, the unfortunate thing is, Caroline, I don't think they will have done, which is why I'm saying somebody must get sacked. Everybody's got to wake up to this. Come on, we've got to stand up for British rights. Thank you for your opinion. Anyone get any more? And I'll come to them in a second. But first of all, I just want to say some more. So the school, let's be fair to them. After the backlash, and it is some mega backlash, it's going around the globe, this story. The school have issued a statement. I'll quote some bits for you. They regret the distress. I bet they effing do. They are reviewing policy. We're reviewing the situation. Who's that? That's Fagan, isn't it? Is it Fagan? Oliver Twist? I think it is. And they've apologised. Yeah, but you've already hurt the girl. Too late. Too little, too late. The damage is done. A 12-year-old girl was made to feel ashamed of being British. And if we, like Caroline and whoever the other lady was just then, said, if we don't speak up now, when will we? So this isn't about politics. It's about identity. And every child should be allowed to celebrate where they come from, even if that place they come from is Britain. We celebrate Ramadan, Eid, Diwali, the Jewish Hanukkah. We do all of that now, and rightly so. Yeah. Even though we're actually a predominantly Christian country, we do that. And do you know why? So that we understand and kids understand, and so we can all get along. It's not ordinary people who want to live divided lives. It's these uber socialists. And then it's lily-livered human rights campaigners like Keir Starmer. That's what causes the problem. Not ordinary people. We just get on, don't we? I'm not saying there aren't a few hotheads. There are. So what do you think? Was the school out of line? Or were they just trying to keep the peace? They were certainly taking the peace, in my opinion. Just let me know in the comments below. And if you believe that British culture, I can't believe I'm saying this bit. I laughed when I wrote it. If you believe that British culture deserves a place in British schools, please share the video. And then, of course, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Because I've got a load more truth coming your way very, very soon. I've just had enough of this. Oh, Sue Nichols. He didn't say kill loads of Jews. I'm not even going to read that out, Sue. Do you know what I mean? Stop the lies. I'll tell you when I'll stop the lies, Sue. When you stop defending people like that rapper. He knew what he was saying. And every moron, those middle-class morons, Sue, maybe you're one of them, Glastonbury, who were chanting along with him to kill the IDF. How does that help anything? How does it help, Sue? Come on, you great Democrat, you. Don't you come on my program slagging me off. It was clear what he meant. These people are anti-Semite. They hide behind all this. Well, Israel are doing this. Well, Israel wouldn't have done sweet FA if they hadn't gone into that music festival, raped, tortured, cut off the breasts of women, and still hold some of those people hostage. It wouldn't have happened. I'm not saying Israel is all goodness and light. They've obviously overreacted over the years as well. But a simplistic sixth form standing outside Woolworths selling your bloody socialist worker view of the world isn't going to help anyone. Did you hear me? Go off and join Zara Sultana if that's the kind of nonsense you believe in. Sorry, Sue, but if you want to answer back, it's still open to you. Craig Mawson. Hi, John. Thanks for another awesome live stream. Keep up your fantastic work. I totally agree with you. Well, you don't have to totally agree with me, but that's nice of you. And Doc Walker says Scotch is whiskey. Oh, yeah. Somebody said, yeah, the Irish and the Scotch. It does upset Scottish people saying that. So Craig says, John, I think it was bad because the 12-year-old girl wasn't wearing a burqa or a sari. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Okay. Well, we're going to finish there. But look, thank you very much. I'm sorry it was earlier, but the chicken was calling or clucking. So I've had to cook the dinner. See, I'm a modern bloke, me. I'm almost a liberal. Multitasking. Got to now check it, make a nice salad with some avocado in it. Maybe we'll get Keir Starmer around. He can bash some avocado for me. He's good at bashing things, I understand, apart from the boats. So I'm going to have that tonight. If you do want to help me out, no one has contributed during this live stream, so it can't have been that good. But if you do want to, you just press the $ and chuck a few quid in the pot, or you do it afterwards, www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt. I tell you what as well, I've had the door open most of the day. I shut it to do it because it was a bit noisy. We get a lot of aircraft going over here. And now I'm sweating because I'm in the kitchen and that's the cooker cooking the chicken. So I'm done. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully at the normal time of 6:30, but I'll try and give you advance warning if I'm not. Don't forget, though, if you ever miss a show, you just go to John Gaunt TV on YouTube and all of them are there and you can watch the replay. Yeah. And what you could do to really help me tonight, could you send the link to this video to all your mates and just say, have a listen to what John Gaunt had to say about this? Because I think I'll represent the majority view on this. I think it's absolutely outrageous. There's these fifth columnists out of their teacher training colleges trying to bend and alter our kids' minds. And I think it's blooming dangerous for society. And on that happy note, I shall leave you. If you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug, and don't forget to tell them you love them. I'll see you soon. Bye.